So the first item on our agenda, good evening again, everyone, is the cannabis license for Smart Loop, which is 3395 LLC, which is 4101 Boston Road. Is someone here representing this corporation or LLC, this outfit? So Smart Loop is okay. So no one is here. How about Sage 48, which is 4848 White Plains Road? It's a catering facility. It's new. Okay. All right, great. So cannabis license is not here. Sage 48 is not here. Is anyone from the New York State DOT here? New York State DOT.
Yes. Good evening. Yep. Kevin Vishnu here from State DOT. We have a few other staff on the call. Do you want me to get started or with the presentation?
Yes, Kevin. You could go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Yep. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Vishnu from State DOT. I have also Sabina Sadiq, State DOT Design. She's the project manager, and I am the project supervisor, and we're from the regional office, the design group. We also have representatives from AECOM, our design consultants, on the call. So we're going to be presenting to you tonight phase 2 of the Bruckner Expressway Mobility Improvements Project in the Bronx. This is an important step in a larger effort to improve safety, reduce congestion, and enhance mobility for drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists who use this I-95 corridor every day. The project location here is in the northeastern Bronx. The work limits cover about 1.1 mile along the I-95 corridor, also known as the Bruckner Expressway and New England Thruway. 0.7 miles of the Hutchinson River Parkway and about 0.3 miles of the Pelham Parkway, which is within the I-95 interchange. So here we're going to do a little recap of the first phase of the project, which was completed about June 2024. The improvements were in the vicinity of the current project location. So that work focused on sections of the northbound I-95 from Westchester Avenue to exit 9, which is the exit to Hutchinson River Parkway. We know that this stretch experienced significant congestion during peak hour periods. So in phase 1, we reconfigured the Bruckner-Pelham interchange by eliminating 2 entrance ramps and 1 exit ramp on the northbound I-95. So we had 3 separate merge points, so we eliminated 3 merge points and consolidated traffic into just 1 reconstructed and realigned ramp. That's the ramp in the southeast quadrant. We also constructed on auxiliary lane on northbound I-95 from the new entrance ramp to exit 9, and that helped improve traffic flow and safety. We improved access from eastbound Pelham Parkway to southbound I-95 by adding a new turning movement at the traffic signal. And finally, we upgraded pedestrian and bike facilities within the project limits by realigning the greenways and signalizing all crossings of that greenway where cross roadways in order to improve safety for the users. On the northbound Hutchinson River Parkway, we constructed an exit ramp to Bartow Avenue, which had provided direct access to Co-op City Community and the Bay Plaza Shopping Center. So here we have a closer look at the ramp reconfiguration. This is looking westbound on Pelham Parkway, so north is to the right of the screen. As shown, we introduced 2 new signalized intersections that allow for controlled movements from both eastbound and westbound Pelham Parkway onto northbound and southbound I-95. You also see in the bottom left of the screen, that's the reconstructed ramp. That's the southeast quadrant of the interchange. You could also see the signalized pedestrian and bike crossings of that ramp. Similarly, we installed signalized crossings on the southwest quadrant, which is at the top left of the screen, for the ped and bike, for the greenway, also to improve safety. Additionally, the shared use path through the park were realigned and improved, making it safer for pedestrians and cyclists. The project also created new park space from the remove highway ramps that's in the bottom right of the screen, and included upgrades to the Memorial Grove area with extensive tree replanting. Unfortunately, that's off the screen. We can't see those improvements. So looking at the off-ramp at Bartow Avenue, this was another key component of phase one. We constructed exit ramp from the northbound hutch, which exited at Bartow Avenue. So this provided direct access to Co-op City and the Bay Plaza Shopping Center, reducing congestion on local streets and giving drivers a more efficient route to get to their destination. We also improved pedestrian and bike safety by realigning the path along Bartow Avenue and installing new signalized crossings at that ramp location. So a couple photographs of the phase one improvements. Image A on the left of the screen, we show the repaved and realigned sections of the greenway, which made it safer for users. And on the right of the screen, we have restored native plantings throughout the project area, which support local wildlife habitats and improve the overall landscape. As the improvements for this project are intended to be completed through phased implementations, we know that the highways within the project limits still experience traffic and congestion. In image C to the left, you can see how traffic queues up on the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway. Vehicles try to exit on the loop ramp to southbound I-95. Currently, more vehicles want to use that ramp than the ramp could handle, and as a result, the queue spills back onto the main line of the southbound Hutch. Image D, looking at the northbound I-95, we can see significant traffic congestion due to a bottleneck and limited capacity. So these examples highlight the need for phase two improvements, which are designed to alleviate congestion and improve overall traffic flow on these three highways within the project limits. As you can see, congestion continues to be a major challenge along the I-95 corridor. The close proximity of entrance and exit ramps creates operational deficiencies, weaving and recurring traffic congestion along the I-95 corridor. Drivers experience severe congestion on I-95 and the Hutchinson River Parkway during both the morning and the evening rush hours, which cause delays and backups onto local streets and other connecting roadways. So on the southbound I-95, one of the main problems in the current configuration is the close spacing of entrance and exit ramps. Vehicles are forced to merge and weave over very short distances, which lead to bottlenecks, delays, and safety concerns. In this section of southbound 95, just within a distance of about 1 mile, we have 6 points of entry and exit. These closely spaced entry and exit points, coupled with short weaving distances, sometimes as short as 400 feet, cause interruptions in the traffic flow, which result in additional delay and increased likelihood of vehicular collisions. So in the present condition, there's no direct access from Co-op City or the Bay Plaza shopping mall to the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway. So drivers currently have to take local routes through the neighborhood to access the parkway, such as Bartow Avenue, Gun Hill Road, and Baychester Avenue. Additionally, the lack of direct access to the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway forces motorists onto the already heavily congested I-95 to take a long roundabout route to access the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway. So that's a little bit about the phase one implementation and the current conditions we see today. as mentioned, we have Sabina Fidik, who's the project manager. She's going to tell you a little bit about the project goals and the upcoming phase 2 project.
Thank you so much, Kevin. So the goals of this project, it focuses directly on these identified needs. We're aiming to address the geometric deficiencies of the closely spaced ramps, which Kevin mentioned earlier along the southbound I-95. We're aiming to reduce the congestions in both directions on the I-95 as well. We're also aiming to improve the safety on pedestrian and bike paths. And we're also aiming to improve access to the Co-op City neighborhood and Bay Plaza shopping mall area. So this image shows the existing conditions along the I-95 between Pelham Parkway to the south and East Dunhill Road to the north. It shows the 6 closely spaced entrance and exit ramps on the southbound I-95 and a single lane exit ramp from the northbound I-95 to the northbound Hutchinson River Parkway, which are significant causes for the severe traffic condition as well as high number of recorded accidents at these locations. As noted earlier, the first phase of the project provided improvements along the northbound I-95. However, those improvements ended at the bridge crossing the Amtrak Railroad, so only 3 of the travel lanes continued on the northbound I-95 through the connection with the Hutchinson River Parkway, and it creates a bottleneck at the exit ramp. So here we see the proposed conditions for the phase 2 of the project. On the northbound I-95, we're continuing the widening from phase 1 by extending the acceleration lane to create a continuous auxiliary lane to the next exit, which is exit 11 to Bartow Avenue, Co-op City Boulevard. And to accommodate this additional lane, the bridge carrying the northbound I-95 over the Hutchinson River Parkway will be widened as shown. Just want to make note that the aesthetics and the materials of the bridge will be maintained. We're also creating a 2-lane exit to exit 9 to the northbound Hutchinson River Parkway, which is expected to alleviate the traffic congestion on the northbound I-95. The traffic model that our consultants prepared yielded a higher volume of vehicles wishing to take that exit than the current 1-lane exit can accommodate. On to the southbound I-95, the entrance ramp from the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway is being reconfigured as a 2-lane entrance at the merge point with Gun Hill Road. We'll be signalizing this location to improve the traffic conditions, increase capacity, and reduce the traffic congestion and spillback on the southbound Hutch. And as we continue south, we will be removing this underutilized ramp from the southbound I-95 to the northbound Hutch, and we'll be realigning the ramp from Erskine Place to the southbound I-95. And we will also be providing a turnaround for buses near the upcoming Metro North station in Co-op City. Near the Bruckner Pelham interchange, we're reconfiguring the current exit ramp. This is exit ramp 8C onto the eastbound Pelham Parkway. We will be including movements onto the eastbound Pelham Parkway, and this will be allowed through traffic signal that will allow vehicles to turn left at the intersection with Pelham Parkway. And with the result of this consolidated movement, we will be removing this loop ramp from the southbound I-95 onto the eastbound Pelham Parkway. So the final configuration will provide a continuous auxiliary lane as well from the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway entrance on the I-95 all the way to the Westchester Avenue exit. And this project, it intends to enhance the mobility and safety for both the local community and through traffic, creating more efficient corridor for everyone. So for the improvements on the Hutchinson River Parkway, as mentioned, we will be constructing an entrance ramp from Bartow Avenue onto the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway so that users from the Co-op City neighborhood and the Bay Plaza shopping mall can directly access the southbound Hutch from this location. And we will be improving and realigning the existing greenway at this location. On the northbound side of the Hutch, we're also adding an auxiliary lane, which will end at the exit to Bartow Avenue. I know I mentioned a bit earlier, we will be providing a two-lane exit from the southbound I-95, so that will continue on into the auxiliary lane. So kind of going back, I did mention that we are removing one of the existing substandard and underutilized ramps from the southbound I-95 to the northbound Hutchinson River Parkway. And the trips that are made on this route are predominantly local trips from Pelham Gardens with local destinations to the Bay Plaza shopping area and the Eastchester neighborhood, which is north of the I-95. So this slide, it illustrates the new route that the motorists will have to use to make this movement. So the traffic on the southbound I-95 will continue on to exit 8C to Pelham Parkway, and they will make a left turn onto eastbound Pelham Parkway. They will then use the entrance ramp onto the northbound I-95 and take exit 9 to get to the northbound Hutchinson River Parkway. So as part of the project, we're conducting detailed environmental studies to ensure compliance with the state and federal regulations. These studies, they evaluate the noise, the air quality, historic resources, water resources, visual resources, disadvantaged communities, and community impacts during construction. We're also coordinating closely with various environmental agencies. Our goal is to deliver mobility improvements while minimizing environmental impacts. So this is our current project schedule. And currently our project is in the preliminary design phase, and we're working to get design approval by mid-2026. We hope to complete the final design by early 2028. And that is also when our project letting is scheduled. And the anticipated construction start date is in mid-2028. So here, these are current partnering agencies that we're collaborating with during our preliminary design phase. The agencies, they include New York City DOT, New York City Parks, FHWA, New York State Thruway, State Parks, and the Metro North Railroad Station, MTA. We are in close coordination as we develop the project. Finally, here is our project contact information. You can reach out with any questions, feedbacks, or concerns that you have at any point during the project. We do understand that community input is essential, and we're committed to keeping an open line of communication throughout all phases of the project. Well, that's all we have. So thank you very much for allowing us to present our project to your board. And I guess I'll leave it open to you guys if you have any questions.
Thanks, Sabina. Any questions? George has a question.
Yeah, thank you, John. So I live in Co-op City. I live in Section 5. I was hoping that you could maybe go back to the last map that you had there. If you can just, oh no, yeah, that one. So, no,
the one with the new route?
yeah, the one with the new route. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay.
Can you just explain that better? Because, so I live in Section 5. The first implementation of this project has not done the over 10,000 residents that live in Section 5 any favors. You've eliminated access points for us. So during the holidays, anybody that comes to Co-op City to shop in Bay Plaza, and you articulated this point, there is a lot of traffic on Hutchinson River Parkway East trying to get back to 95 because they don't want to make the left on Bartow to go to the other thing because the traffic on Bartow is crazy. So it creates quite the traffic jam. My other concern is right on Erskine Place. I'm just curious because it says that ramp to be removed, and I guess that's on the southbound side of the ramp. In the red box, it says ramp to be removed. Is that for anybody traveling southbound? They can still access Section 5, and quite possibly that's where the new train, the Metro North train station, is supposed to be right there underneath that overpass, the Bruckner Expressway. So, can you explain that better? Did I freeze?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not. I guess what I'm trying to ask is you're not eliminating the southbound ramp from, if you're coming down, I guess 95 South, and you want to go into Section 5 and the Hutch, because that is both the entrance to the Hutchinson River Parkway and to Section 5. You're not eliminating that ramp, or are you? Because there's two dotted red lines there that I'm not understand. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So, are you asking if we're removing the ramp from the southbound I-95 onto the northbound Hutch, or the one from
Yeah, it's
Erskine
the northbound
Place?
Hutch. Yeah, yeah. Because that's the one that leads to the back of Section 5, which is right where the new Metro North train station is.
I'm sorry, I I couldn't hear you. So we are removing. So this route, it is intended for the movement from the southbound I-95 to the northbound Hutch. That ramp is being proposed to be removed. Um, and the traffic would be following this new route that is shown on this map. As for the ramp that comes in from Erskine Place, that we will be reconfiguring that, and it will continue to access the southbound I-95.
So you're not removing the ramp then. You're just eliminating it going to 95, I mean to the Hutchinson River North.
Yes, we are removing that one, but we are reconfiguring the one from Erskine Place onto the southbound I-95. We are keeping that
I
route,
think that's the confusion.
or
There's
the
two
move.
ramps. Yeah, I think this, so follow me. The ramp that leads to Section 5 also leads to the Hutchinson River Parkway going northbound. It goes in two directions. You can go, I can continue on the right and get onto Hutch North, or I can go left and get onto Erskine Place. So that's how I get home if I'm traveling 95 South and I'm coming home. Are you eliminating that ramp, or you're just eliminating the small little portion that leads to Hutchinson River Parkway North?
Yeah, George, I get the question you're asking. So both of those movements will be eliminated. What will be maintained is to allow traffic from Sector 5 and Erskine Place to exit that neighborhood and continue southbound onto I-95. So that's the only movement that will be maintained in that area. The other routes are, that's what's highlighted on the screen here. This is the new route that would have to be taken to get to, what that previous ramp would have taken you.
And Co-op City River Bay is okay with this change? You've not gotten any pushback?
So you're the third community board that we've met with. We met with CB10 and 11, and we heard concerns from them, and we had there was pushback from one community board. The other community board didn't have much to say. But what I could tell you is that the reason we're removing these ramps is just because it's not safe. I mean, we've taken extensive accident analysis. We look at traffic patterns, and there's really a large number of accidents here. And if you look at those ramps, they're just not up to interstate standards. There's no acceleration lane. There's no deceleration, and while we understand they may be convenient for some users. They weren't designed the safest way, and there's definitely a lot of redundant movements in this area. So what we're trying to do is consolidate and consolidate anything redundant and just kind of just make it safer for everyone, as we mentioned.
I'm okay. I mean, I'll talk to Community Board 10, but it seems like you're adding an additional 2 miles to someone who's coming southbound that wants to go directly into Section 5. And again, Community Board 10, the City of Yes, just rezoned. You see those little private homes? That's all been rezoned now, so it's been upzoned. So in addition to the 10,000 people that live in Section 5 alone, you're going to have, I don't know, a couple thousand more apartments that are going to be coming online. And you have a new train station. What about bus movement? Is the city not planning to put, the MTA not planning buses? Like, how are people going to connect to that new train, the Co-op City Metro North train station?
Yeah, so we had multiple meetings with city transit buses, and so this is why we're actually providing that turnaround per their request, that they some of the bus routes that they have leading to the train station had planned to turn around right there. So that's for MTA actually. So their bus plan jives with what we're showing here for the ramps.
So it's only going to be accessible to buses. So you're not eliminating it, you're just making it for the MTA.
Um, so it's just a turnaround. It's like a cul-de-sac. Sabina, you want to show that again on the screen? This is a turnaround for buses. I don't know, Elizabeth, is that going to be, I don't know if there's any use for the public to use that. Are we signing that just for buses, or public is allowed to use that to turn around, I suppose?
Oh, sorry, I was having a hard time unmuting. Yeah, I mean, as I understood it, it was for the turnaround for the users at the station. So I don't know that we were restricting it, but I think that involves conversations with the MTA, as you mentioned.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
So George, I hear what you're saying about the ramp. We did look extensively at the ramp. We looked at the traffic counts on the ramp. Not too many vehicles use that ramp. The reason being, you have multiple arteries coming from areas north to the south. So like I mentioned, there's just multiple ways to get into this area. If you can't get it this way, you'll get it from another, another route, whether this route or a different route. Yeah.
We have one more question, Ariel.
Hello, my name is Ariel. I wanted to ask a question. I wanted to know if this was not already given to us, is there a way that maybe we can have like an excerpt of this? And also, you did go over the fact of looking at the the air pollution and everything like that, but it was just stated. Is there any studies that we can actually look at just to see like what those numbers and everything looks like?
Okay, so we could work on getting you a copy of this presentation, either the same presentation or something maybe a little bit more public friendly. That's the first part. The second part about the air. So New York State DOT has a strict air policy, um, and that's a result of the traffic analysis actually. So um, I'm not. Those are things that we're looking at, and I'm not sure if that has been completed yet because we're still in preliminary design. But
I'm
when
so
that gets
sorry.
completed, yep.
I'm so sorry. I can't really hear you too clearly. I hear you, but I can't make out your words. If you could just speak up just a little bit, maybe it's your volume.
Okay, just hang on a second. Okay, do you hear me any better now?
Yes, that's slightly better. Thank you.
Okay, so I said we'll get you a copy of this presentation. It might be the same or it might be a little bit more public friendly. That's the first part. So the second part is about the you asked about the air policy. So all of New York State DOT projects go through strict screening for you know any type of effects to the air. This is a result of the traffic study. Um, I know we were doing extensive traffic modeling. I'm not sure that's completed yet, being that we're still in preliminary design. When it gets completed, when the air gets completed, it gets documented into the design approval document. We don't have design approval yet, so when it does, when we do get it, it'll be in that report, and I imagine you'll be able to have a look at the results.
Okay, what I think I heard you say is that when you guys receive the report, then you will be able to share that. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Because it's just that, just having transparency and just actually seeing it, except for, just understanding and knowing that there were several tests. That's all I had. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Is there any more questions? All right. Thank you.
I'm just checking the chat. Oh, no, there's no questions in the chat.
Yeah, Etonia, yes, she didn't have a question. All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back. Just going back just to make sure that there's no one here from Smart Loop 3395 LLC at 4101 Boston Road or Sage 4848 White Plains Road, which is a catering facility. All right. All right. Everyone in-house this evening, we also have some property owners from Shefflin Avenue between 225th and 222nd Street. They have a petition to create alternate side of street parking. George actually did some numbers for us. There are 19 homes on Shefflin Avenue between 225th and 222nd Street, and there are no homes in front of Shefflin Avenue between 223rd Street. So essentially, with a petition, there are 12 homes signed on to the petition of the 19 homes, which is more than 50%. So would I ask you if you want to step forward and come right here.
All right, so do you want me to talk to?
Yeah, you can talk if anyone. Yes.
Hello, everyone, and I see some of our neighbors that have joined by phone, and we just wanted to come tonight to bring to your attention issues we're having on Shefflin Avenue. We realize that we're a small area on Shefflin, but Shefflin Avenue actually sweeps between Baychester Avenue and 220 5th Street. So there's already sweeping happening or alternate side parking happening on Shefflin. So it's just to take it all the way through to 222nd Street. And I know we have a neighbor here. He's on 222nd, but on Shefflin. And he has to, by ordinance or whatever it is, you have to sweep Shefflin, right? Your house falls on Shefflin Avenue, so you have to sweep, and there's abandoned cars. And so we've a plethora of issues with people leaving their cars because there's no alternate side parking. There's also, what is it called? Pop-up car washes. There are pop-up mechanics on our streets. So that getting the alternate side parking, we believe, will alleviate some of these issues. I don't know if any of our neighbors wants to chime in or anyone here.
Have you made numerous complaints?
Oh,
to
yes.
the precinct?
Oh, absolutely. I have left my phone over there, but between my husband and I think we probably have over 200 complaints,
Do you
just
have patrol
abandoned cars.
When you have the car patrol that area, have you ever seen any car? patrol?
Only when we call.
Only when
And
you
so,
call.
and the issue that we're finding is that when we do call, they will often say, hey, we've gotten a complaint. And so the person or individuals will look around, and as you said, it's only 19 homes. So they're targeting like, oh, okay, so don't just leave their cars in front of our homes just to spite us, because we've been calling because they have pop-up mechanics and pop-up car wash right across the street. So,
And you've done 311 reports online.
Yes.
Have the
oh, yes, we have.
numbers for the closed out.
Oh, yes,
You're taking them over to the precinct.
Yes, and some of them they've actually sent to DOT, and I believe for the pop-up the pop-up car wash, that's actually sent to sanitation, I believe, something like that. But it's something I should have brought my phone over here. But yes, we have a lot of those. And so there was also a study done on 223rd, on Shefflin Avenue between 223rd and 222nd, because that's an area where we're having a lot of car accidents, which one just happened today because there's no crosswalk and there's no stop sign. So it's up to the driver, on either side to stop if they want to. So today we had an accident. I actually recorded it so I can take it in today, but there was a study done on that corner. So I'm going to kind of maybe send an email to request that study to see what was done and what.
I'm sorry, study from when?
I saw,
If there's
Forgive
study
me.
done, it's probably DOT.
yeah, a
No, I
DOT.
understand, but she said a study, so I just want to know what study.
Yeah, probably whenever there's a high
Accident, yeah.
accident
Mhm.
at a specific area.
Yes.
We had someone from DOT talk about that same block. because
Yes.
We requested a stop sign.
Yeah,
Remember?
that's correct.
Or a
Yeah.
traffic light, is it no traffic light there,
Yes.
possibly a stop sign. We had someone.
And so we had gotten, so when we first moved there in 2018, around when de Blasio was in, so he usually calls in on WNYC. So I called in and we actually got the two speed humps. And at that time, they were supposed to put in those stop sign at the block on 223rd where there's the accident issue, but they haven't done anything. And we have a school and a church, and there's no way, no area for people to cross the street. So.
Okay, is there any way that we can get in touch with someone about the stop sign?
Yeah.
And what can we do for them? Can we actually request that alternate side parking? What can we do on that?
We could literally speak with DOT and put the request in, but we got blasted by the prison office. And we gotta make sure that the proper studies are done before we try to implement something, because I got in trouble for that.
Yeah, but we do know about the stop sign situation. I remember that specifically.
Yeah.
And we have a petition. Can you go back with that petition, try to get
Of
more
course.
signatures?
Yes,
Let's
absolutely.
get that completely filled.
Yes.
That would be great. I mean, you're doing wonderful work. right?
Well, so there are a couple of homes where we have neighbors who own more than one car. So they have explicitly told us that, well, I'm not going to sign because I have 3 cars and I'm trying to, make sure that I can have the spot when I get home. So we had 2 homes next to our neighbor here. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you for coming.
Would you like to, can they both speak?
Sure.
Would you like to speak and tell us your take on it,
Thank you.
please?
Yeah, this one, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get
Okay.
everything else.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
To say my name. So good evening, everyone. My name is Kimon Marks. So I think I have sort of a double-handed sword when it comes to parking and New York City and just how in your neighborhoods that affects, because I think financially that affects a lot of people when you have to move your cars constantly. And there's a lot of costs associated with that. But nonetheless, I think nothing supersedes safety. And so if a coroner has issues and safety is the primary issue, I think there's some regulation that's needed there. I think I actually know that area right off of 224th. My daughter went to school a few blocks over.
Sorry, is it a
Middle school.
Chef, it's on Chef Lee.
I think I'm on chat.
Yeah, on stand up roads.
Okay, it's a two-way street.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no sign there.
Because you know, if they do alternate side of the street, like if you go away, whatever, you can't leave your car on the street, so you gotta take it.
Right.
So-
And so I am
So
sort
right
of,
here?
my block, I don't pay for
Yeah, that's what I'm
parking,
saying.
which
If
is
you
a
go away on
luxury.
vacation,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an issue for you. So-
It's been a blessing for me after receiving so many tickets at work that I can come home and not have to worry.
So now, if you, because especially if you, in the winter, if
They
you come home,
requested that.
you might have
They
to
said
get
it
up
wasn't
and move the
possible,
car.
but they could
Yeah,
stop.
it's
I remember
it's
it.
not fun.
I
And I've
remember
had
that.
both lives.
You had to talk about that.
We had DOT here?
Yes.
Yes.
And what would the
Talking-
DOT
remember,
say?
remember we requested,
A stop sign.
no, not the stop sign, traffic light.
Okay.
They said because of that area, it's not possible, but a stop sign because they had
Four-way
speed
stop.
bumps. That's why they couldn't do the traffic light, because of the speed bumps. I remember the whole
Why
conversation.
wasn't the stop sign done, you recall?
They didn't say, they said they had the speed bumps that in the past. We're talking about this neighborhood, it's like almost a mirror image of almost the late 70s to the early 80s. It has not changed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So, and there was never stopped. I think there was only one. Now,
I see
there it
flag,
goes.
some kind of
That's
archive.
it. That's exactly how it looked since the late 70s, early 80s. So they put speed bumps. They tried to fix the problem.
Can
And
the
where they
speed
put
bumps,
the
can we
speed bumps,
request the speed bumps be removed?
Where-
and then
no,
assign-
where they put the speed bumps,
That's
because of
DOT.
that, they can't put the traffic light and where those stop signs are situated as well. Everything would have to be changed. It would have to be a four traffic lights. They're not gonna do that because of the speed bumps, and the two-way street with the stop signs. Oh,
And they stopped putting in the speed bumps because from the create a projectile.
Yeah.
Cars.
Right.
The bikes especially. We've had an accident in the
The
past.
children with their bikes.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Because the guys come from my block.
I have a question.
They come from speeding. And when the guys hit the speed bump, the car end up like this.
So basically, only thing that's not regulated is that there are cars on the street. Yes,
Is it supposed to be that people just leave their cars for years?
So the issue is more so that people are coming onto the area using the cars that.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
No, I have the same problem too, but I'm being because what I may do, like what she said, like everybody has a different preference. So one of the things that I issued the enforcement of like them calling 311, DOT or whoever and not getting,
Well-
the assistance they need.
When you have a paper trail, they got a petition.
Yeah, but
The stop sign right now, I'm sorry if I'm talking out of turn,
No.
but the stop sign is a priority.
Yeah.
I'm
It's just
looking,
a safety
as you
issue.
can, as
Yeah,
you can
nothing
see.
supersedes.
And I think the alternate side street parking, I think because of the paper trail that you have a lot of complaints and nothing being done about that. If you can fill, just
All right,
Try
this,
to get a couple more signatures.
okay, this,
I know, but if she can get more, it'd be better. It's fine now, but if she can get, it'd be great. You understand what I'm saying, right? But we're definitely, I'm on board. I want to make a motion that we send this out and that and request alternate side street parking.
okay, but the first thing first.
The stop sign.
You have questions?
Go ahead. Go ahead. My apologies. Go right ahead. Okay, but I know how I feel. It's not gonna change.
Yeah, it's a tough change that I don't appreciate when I have to move my car constantly, because I don't think that the city does justice in cleaning when they should.
We're just
when
gonna ask you a
people
question.
move cars.
Carl? Yeah, but the thing is, remember, was saying last time, we have to go to the full board to, request a study. Remember when we requested a study for the street off of Gun Hill Road?
Oh, yeah.
This office said, can't just, because before, it's just a study. So I used to get a DOT, we used to just email them, say, do a study of that intersection or convert it to a one. So the borough president will say, we have to go to the full board to get it.
Yeah, I tried that as a PTA president to get signed at my daughter's school, and I was told to
So
get it to shut first.
we can make a motion, do both of them, but we still got.
You gotta get approval from the general.
Yeah, we don't have a quorum.
Yeah.
I got a question. Hold on one second. We got, let's try to wrap it up, because Rob and Fredo has a question.
Okay.
Yeah, if you all can just give us some sort of indication of how you think whether or not, let's say we have side parking once a week, or it's where it changes on Fridays or something. Would that make a difference with respect to illegal vendors? And would it have to, what if it was twice a week? Like, try to get as much specific information about how you think the alternate side is actually going to impact this.
But can I add to what you said, Robert? I agree, because they're not supposed already the 7-day rules. You're not supposed to have a car parked in front of a private residential for more than 7 days. Then they get ticket and the city's supposed to tow it away. To be, 7 days. They have to prove that it's 7 days. Someone has to come around and say 7 days. If they're not enforcing that, what makes us think they're gonna enforce it when it alternate side?
Yeah, so if there's alternate side parking, let's say they put in an alternate side parking once or twice a week, whatever the case may be. That doesn't necessarily stop someone from coming in on a Saturday and having an illegal car wash. I mean, maybe it does, and I haven't thought this through. But if someone could at least put it all together for us, so that when we make the recommendation, we make sure we make the right recommendation for the right reasons. It might be a great idea for other reasons, but I'm just trying to put together in my head the correlation between alternate side and getting rid of car washes.
Illegal car wash is actually enforced by the community office. They did that on my block. They came and we called them and they came and they stopped them, right? And that was true to politicians and all kind of nonsense. But when you call them about cars now,
They don't.
47%, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. They tell you it's sanitation.
They don't
Right?
want
And sanitation tells you they can't stop them because they don't have a place to tow it and all kind of nonsense.
That's
These
what
are the stories. So the
But I had 2 cars towed. I had 2 cars towed. Because I was pissed. I went into it.
So my other thing about that is that it's based on the community, because I said I would be objective. I said that if it was my community, I wouldn't want it because of a difference in my living situation. But I do agree in the sense of because the issue is more so the mechanics and the car washes, which continues regardless, unfortunately, if you have alternate side parking. not. And it depends also how many days we're gonna do it, because some blocks have 2 days, some blocks have 3 days. That's something to, discuss when we cross that bridge. But that was like my thing. Like if more than half of their community feels like ultimate parking would assist their area, then, I guess that's fine, but I'd like to hear the questions and other things.
Well, the alternates is just a mechanism to make the person move their car.
No, I know that, but I don't think that's just the only thing that's gonna happen. I think the issue is because
You have to
we've
do
been having-
enforcement also.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying in the beginning, that if the 47th precinct is gonna throw it back to sanitation, and sanitation is gonna throw it back to the 47th precinct, it has to come to a situation where it's not more so everybody just going back to what we need solutions, because this is not the only block that has been complaining about abandoned cars in areas. And I know that we all areas, so along with their petition, there also needs to be an understanding of how we're gonna get this enforced in our community.
Is the 47th?
No,
The same thing with illegal.
I know it's the law, but they don't always enforce it. What they do is that they close up, you put the 311 in. I'm pretty sure she did that. Police car is supposed to come by, document in the report, but what they do is close out the report. Instead of documenting, yeah, we saw a said car. So that's proof, and that the police are supposed to come by for 7 days after that. And if that car is still there, the 47th precinct then sends one of their police tow to impound said car.
But I also think that's kind of different.
So it's a 47th.
But then my question is, when you say
That's not an old law, that's
No,
just.
I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying it's an old law, we have outdated laws, right? The reason why I say it's outdated is because there's a lot of people in the community who probably go away to vacation. They probably do a lot of things that's more than 7 days. And usually in my area, if there's a car that's there for weeks to months, then I kind of red flag it. But if you go for a few weeks or something on vacation, I wasn't thinking this car.
Usually, no, but they look at the registration and they call the person. They call the people, said the car's belonged. Because remember this, I'm telling you.
James, you have to mute yourself.
They called the car.
Yeah, I'm just saying that would just be.
No, but I'm saying, I understand you're coming up with scenarios, but I'm telling you, this is,
What we're like.
I know, but okay, let me finish, please. The police do call the said owner of vehicle to tell them, and if they're on vacation, the police will not tow. Because the police have knocked on my door and told me, said person's on vacation, and said they will come by the end of this week to get the car out. I understand what you're saying. It could be anywhere. And if the vehicle's the owner up to the house in front of it, they do not touch that vehicle. No one's gonna even complain about it. And we all have driveways. I mean, it's just so nice you have to be. I have a home. I don't want a car sitting there for a couple of months. And I'm gonna say it the nicest way possible. I don't care if you're on vacation. Park it in front of your house. Period.
But when you say in front,
Of someone's home, where you can't even clean it, especially in the winter and the fall. I've had it happen where the leaves are building up.
Hello?
Yes,
I understand that, but I think also as owners, we also have to think of renters and people in buildings and other situations as well. I'm just trying to get the collective perspective. You would say it's in front of your house, but to other people, it's a public street and they're going to park. We already are very tight with parking. We're going to be tighter with parking. So that's why I want to focus on getting their community what they feel is necessary for their community and also for enforcement to help all of us.
We got Alfredo. Alfredo had a question for the longest.
Please wait first, please.
Please wait. Alfredo is next.
Hello?
Yeah, online, make sure you're not talking because we're having a meeting here.
I know, but I would like to have some input on the alternate side.
You gotta be recognized. You gotta be recognized.
Well, I'm on the phone. How are you going to recognize me?
You gotta raise your hand.
raise your hand option.
Just let her know that we're going to do
We're gonna do her next.
We'll get to you.
We'll get to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out. I've been living in the Northeast Bronx for 27 years. When I first moved up here on Bronxwood and 233rd and Bronx and back of Bronxwood Towers, that block doesn't have alternate side parking. So I know exactly where you're getting at. I mean, there was people that would come there, leave their cars there for months. The Northeast Bronx has a lot of areas like that, and a lot of people would love to change it to alternate side parking. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as getting signatures and petitions. Many people have come to this board. I've been on this board 16 years. A lot of people have come to this board. We send out studies to DOT to do a study. They come back that it's not permissible, it's not possible. You guys mentioned garbage, stop sign, crosswalks, pop-up car washes, mechanics, alternate side parking. That's a lot. It's not just the alternate side parking. You guys are referencing a lot of stuff. So you have to, try to get to one item. Like if it's the alternate side parking. But when you mention all this, it's not just one item. It becomes that much more difficult to try to contain and tackle. If a study was done for this block for the four-way stop sign, then we need to see it to see why they didn't install it. And then for that, then we can entertain that because that's something separately from the alternate side parking. Alternate side parking works if there's enforcement. Like let me say, if there's no enforcement, you can have alternate side parking Monday through Friday. If the city does not come and enforce it, which is sanitation, not NYPD, is sanitation, it's not going to work. And the reason why I'm saying is where I live at on 232nd Street, we have alternate side parking Thursdays and Fridays. People don't move. People don't get tickets. So I get it. I understand. And it's very frustrating because my wife be out there cleaning all the leaves in the snow. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's good. You got a petition. You should get more people involved in your community. Come out here more. Come with everyone. Come with everyone. And I'm not trying to use one neighborhood against another neighborhood. When there's issues in Woodlawn, they come here by the busload. Not saying that their neighborhood is better than ours, but they come here by the busloads because they're like, we don't want that. We don't need that. If we want to focus on the mechanics, that's one. The car wash, that's something else. The crosswalks, that's something else. The alternate set parking, maybe we could do a motion to have a study done with the information that you guys have provided and the additional information you're going to get. And maybe they'll consider it. I don't know why there's no alternate set parking there when this block has it. That like startles me. I don't know why. Maybe they forgot. Maybe sanitation forgot to go up that block. And being that they've never gone up there, they probably said, we don't got to clean it. But why clean that block and not this block? You know what I mean? And also, you got to take into account. I have a lot of cars, right? I have a driveway. I park my cars in my driveway. I'm respectful and mindful. There's people that live in my block that got multiple cars and they take up all the parking. They don't move. You know what I mean? So we know whose car is whose. So when a car sits in front of our neighborhood for X amount of days or weeks, we call it up quick. This car's been here, come and they do what they need to do.
That's what I do.
Now 311, everyone has complained about 311 that it doesn't work. It works because the complaints are being taken in, as long as you save your complaint number. The 47, we work very closely with the 47. Most of us here. There's a new quality of life unit that was just brought up to the 47. They were just brought up, like I said, in the last 3 weeks, right? Like 3 weeks ago. That unit consists of between 8-10 officers. It has a particular commanding officer that oversees them. They out here only noise complaints, double parking, illegal parking. That's what that unit does. So whenever you call 311, make sure you put that there's illegal parking and you would like for it to be assigned to the quality of life unit of the precinct where you live at. All right. Unfortunately, I mean, it's a big city. A lot of 311 complaints go unanswered, but that's why the mayor implemented this pilot program. It started in Staten Island, and he saw how successful it was. Now every command in the city of New York has a quality of life unit, which took over what was called our not the street crime unit, our NCOs, our neighborhood coordinating officers. That unit took over those officers. All right, so continue the 311 complaint, because remember, when Denise makes a motion, we're going to make the motion that we want DOT or whomever has jurisdiction to do a study to see if alternate site parking could be implemented. They'll probably give you 1 day. Maybe they'll give you 2 days. Maybe they won't. Maybe they say it just doesn't work there, or they don't have a sweeper for that particular area, which makes no sense. But
When he comes on the block, he just keeps this.
I know, because that's not his block. But just keep in mind.
Does the city regulate the amount of blocks that have alternate street parking? Do we know that?
That we don't know. That's something that's a DOT.
Yeah, that's something to consider if that's why they do one and not the other.
No, it goes by usage, the area, I think the zoning also.
But we gotta also keep in mind that back in the days when these streets were built, there weren't that many people living up here with cars.
We were cleaning our own street. We're actually legally responsible to clean our own street. So when the car is parked in front of my home, because I got a ticket for sanitation, and the garbage is building up there, and the leaves are sitting there, the car's sitting there for months, and the garbage is up there, sanitation by having a bad day, he's gonna give you. We've got to right? Okay, so.
All that is good to put.
So a suggestion, Senator DeMore made it, and I'm going to tell you, this is slot on me. Yeah, you go in there, you make a complaint. I made a complaint about all those cars that I'm on 233rd and Bruno. People buy cars and they leave them there, or they abandon their cars and start taking them restricted, and they dump it there. They'll sit there and dump them right there. You know, he had all the cars moved. Let me tell you something, my block, nobody did park there for a while. You know, I'm telling you, he would have it all, he did it. He's tired of us going complaining, saying, look, but after a while, they get tired of pestering. And if you see them in person, get about it. Yeah, they will go on his own right in front of him. Because he has done it to me many times. And he'll put his aid and said, okay, it's going to be done. And I tell you, the next day, all these cars are pulled out. So I think, well, not to say it's going to be the more they are.
This was 2022, I think, what they did. So I have.
Brenda, let us deal with the questions online, then we'll come back. Hello, the floor is open. Okay. I think the 718 number.
718, the last digit 62.
And James Hunt.
Yes.
Is this,
and James Hunt.
Okay. We're going to go with 62. Then we'll come to Mr. Hunt.
listen, my name is Les Pemberton. I live on Shefflin Avenue between 225th and 222nd Street. I've been up here since 1956. And the reason that there was no alternate side parking because there were no streets, it was not paved. It wasn't paved. Our organization, which was now defunct, East Laconia, we fought so much, and they finally paved from 225th to 222nd Street. All right, some of them, and they didn't put up the signs because they couldn't put up an alternate side because there was no curve to put it on. You know, when they got the curve, they didn't put it on. Now they need to put it on because people are moving and putting it in front of our house where we pay taxes, and we can't even park our cars out there on the street and run into the house to do something. And I think that the main thing should be that they should have alternate side so that people could move those cars and the street could be cleaned and you could clean in front of your street without any problems.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. And not only that, our organization also got the fourth stop signs on the 225th because they would come in, these cars. I don't think the light is a good idea because then people would race to get to the light and then they would pop and have an accident and knock in my fence. And they've done that several times. We went to the board, to the community board, and that's why we got the four-way parking. The man said at least somebody would stop. So I'm fine with the four-way, parking, stopping. That's excellent for me. I haven't had my fence broken down since then. Okay, so I think we should have motions to be made regarding alternate side parking first, and then they could do the other things they want to do. I'm finished.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
So the safety of the intersection, they want to put the safety of the intersection last versus the alternate side.
Well, that's what
she wants. Okay, let's make it short.
Okay. Mr. James Hunt, you can speak now.
Yes, hello, everyone.
All right.
I'm Diana Hunt's husband. I just wanted to add to the alternate side parking on Shefflin, between 222nd and 225th. The problem is not, the mechanic problem is not the fact the guys are working on cars. The guys are going to dealer auctions. They go into dealer auctions and they park in at least 7, 8, sometimes 9 cars, especially between 223rd and 222nd on Shefflin, and they'll be sitting there for like a year. And
That's right.
the other day, I got one car try to get removed. My neighbor had a crashed S500 Benz, and it had been parked there from 2020, and it just got removed this year. So that's about 4 years.
I believe you.
Right now, I don't know if y'all can see me, but behind me, there's already a car with no tires, no wheels, blocking the hydrant. And me and my wife complained about baby at least 15 times, and that car is still abandoned with no plates. With the guys living across the street, they're squatting, and they have 2 cars with no plates, ghost car plates, every day. And 301 doesn't do anything at all. I probably have by myself 200 complaints on 301 from 2023 to now. And they have issued like some tickets. Quite a few tickets to people and stuff like that. But the way you solve it is the street cleaning, because if you look from Shefflin from 220 to 223rd to Eastchester Road on 223rd, they do sweeping. And also 224th from Shefflin to Eastchester, they sweep as well. So everybody chooses to park on this block. And it's not just 8, 7 months. It's cars sitting there for years. Years. It's not 7 months. It's 2, 3, 4 years. And then not even that. My wife mentioned some neighbors that we have that have more than 1 car. No, they have more than 4 cars parked on the block. Households. And those are the households that's not signing, because they have 5 cars parked on the street that they do not move. And this is an ongoing problem. And I'm getting exhausted. Exhausted, and something has to change. I don't get it. We gotta get more people in the neighborhood. Everybody don't come out and complain. I understand that. I don't know why, but people sit there and complain to me and then don't have a solution. And it just has to change. I don't really care about the stop signs, and stop signs is cool. It's good to have that, whatever. But is the alternate side parking, is that what needs to stop? Because you got rats coming on the block now. I see rats going inside these cars that don't move, and it's ridiculous. It's the neighborhood's changing. The whole Bronx, Northeast Bronx is changing for the worse. And I get to a point where where I tell my wife all the time, I said, I don't think they're gonna do anything. I might as well just move because what the hell? I have a nice house, a nice block, and it's just it's crazy, you know. And then things don't change. Then what happens to neighbors? Got to take it into their own hands and argue with neighbors and get violent with people, and then it's a bigger other problem.
Right.
It's a
But
it's a bigger problem.
can I just say
Excuse
something?
me. Excuse me. We're just gonna have one person speak at a time. Please do
Okay.
not interrupt the other person so they
Okay, I'm
can
sorry.
complete their thought. No, it's okay. It's all right. Thank you so much for giving your input.
Yeah, because I could walk up the block right now and show you about maybe 15 cars that don't move. And there's a little section right here. I could walk up the block right now and point to every vehicle that have no plates, no tires. I mean, no windows. It's crazy.
All right, Mr. Hunt.
It's crazy.
Mr.
Yes.
Hunt, I get you guys frustration, right? I mean, I get
Yeah.
it. I mean, we live up here, we own homes. I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Unfortunately, like Ms. Echeverria said, we have elected officials that we vote for. All right. We have elected officials that we vote for. You guys can also, bring up your concerns to their offices also.
We have. Hold on 1 second. We have.
Okay,
We
so that's
have.
what I'm saying.
We
So
have emails and paper
but
trails.
imagine, Mr. Hunt, you have gone to the elected officials and they don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem. That's a problem. And they need to be let know that, because when it's time for elections, everybody's face is everywhere. But when help is needed, it's like they're not around. And
Yeah. Mhm.
we're gonna do whatever we can. Remember, we're just an advisory board. We will
Yeah.
do whatever we can in regards to sending out letters of recommendations for studies to be done. I suggest all you guys go. The 47th precinct has a precinct council, which I am part of. We
Okay.
meet, we meet every second Wednesday of the month. The
Okay.
47th precinct council. I strongly suggest, Mr. Hunt, you speak to your neighbors, to your boys, say, you know what, we're gonna go to this precinct meeting. We're gonna sign up on the speaker sign-in sheet, and we're gonna voice our concern. And the reason why I say that is, in that meeting, not only do you have the precinct council, you have our commanding officer, you have our executive officer, and the elected officials representatives there. And this is the time for you guys to bring out your concerns for the CO. Remember, you got to understand, the commanding officer only knows if he's being told of the situation.
Mhm.
Besides 311, right? And listen, 311 complaints are very big in the Northeast Bronx, but we have murders, we have rapes, we have stuff that the CO and the precinct prioritizes. Not saying that 311 is not important, but they need to know. So when all you guys go there and he see that, wow, you know what? Let's see what we can do. That will also help us. You see what I'm saying? It would
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, I understand that. Understand. Mhm. All right. Thank you very much.
John, you want to talk?
Yeah. Is there any more questions before I proceed to close?
Yeah, Tolene has her hand up.
Oh, Tolene, good evening. How are you doing, ma'am?
Good evening. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. Real quick, because I know you guys want to get out of there. I'm so glad to hear and see you. Just real quick, I spoke before about Matilda Avenue between Nereid and all the way down to 41st Street. I have two schools. We have PS 16 and we have the Matilda School. It is Indianapolis Raceway on this street. So I noticed the block I live on. So I noticed that there are a lot of kids, children, parents, young children that walk to school by themselves, families trying to make it down, to the schools by, alone with shop. And then we have seniors with shopping carts. A lot of times they can't go on the sidewalk because of maybe the sidewalk is uneven. So I see some of our elders walking in the street with their walkers and in wheelchairs, and they're driving like they lost their minds up and down this block. So I had sent a couple of emails. I know Ursula was working on it, but I just wanted to say it again. I don't know what else we have to do. I know they were saying that we have to get a study, but I'm just so afraid that somebody's going to get hurt.
It's not really a study. That's just enforcement.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Even the block I live on, they come true. Good night. They come true very hard. Like,
John, I have recorded it. I have recorded it. It's ridiculous.
The big.
It's ridiculous. And okay, part two, it was something that I know George worked very hard on, and that's the bridge on Nereid. We got rid of George got rid of the trucks. The trucks were gone, but they're back. So I just want to say the trucks are back.
Tractor trailer.
The tractor truck, the big trucks, they're back there. And I mean, some of them have I don't even know how to explain it. I'm not a truck person, but they drive off the front part of the truck and they leave the back, the trailer, maybe it's called the trailer part. So they're so content with leaving it that they'll leave that sitting there and drive off. So that's it. That's what I have to say. Are y'all talking?
Yeah. No, we're just talking about the trucks, and our councilman was saying that we should, like, if you live in this community and you buy a truck, that the community should find a spot for you to to park your truck. That should not be the case. If you buy a truck, right, you should find your own spot where you're gonna park your truck. That has nothing to do with the community's dollar or why you should park in front of my house because you can't find a spot to park your truck.
Yeah, but I think because we don't.
Yeah, but John, it is the exact same.
I mean, that's how it was. Totally, that's how it was back in the days. If you purchase a truck, you had to before I purchase a truck, I would try to find out where I'm going to park it because you couldn't. I mean, a lot of these streets, you couldn't even park a U-Haul on 230. Like, if you were moving back in the days and you had a U-Haul rental and you park it on my block, you got a ticket. That's how it was back in the days. Now
That's right.
To have a commercial vehicle.
No commercial traffic there.
John, it is exactly the same. I mean, we all know on Baychester, because when I was at Sousa, I mean, it was crazy. The trucks that are there and they go around the block in front of the library all the way down. It's the same thing.
Yeah. If you try to go around Mount St. Michael now, you could barely, you can't even go around Mount St. Michael because it's with a 16 bus. It feels so dangerous going around there because it's tight.
Right. Yeah, but the other part to having the trucks there at night, I don't know if anybody really knows to walk with you walking around. It's kind of eerie. It's kind of scary. They're dumping. They got a little prostitution thing going on. It gives you trafficking vibes.
I'm so sorry, Tony. I didn't mean to interrupt you. So what I was gonna say to add to the conversation, I noticed that there are several things that's the issue with parking, and I do agree with the trucks. Unfortunately, because we have community members, we don't have a resource in our area. I know that Kevin Riley said he was looking at a part, but DOT said no, they weren't able to. I think a lot of this is also following up. I think that a lot of times we're getting information because we're asking the questions, but nobody's giving us answers, or we're being put on hold for months and months and months. I do agree with Tolene, like on Nereid Avenue, the trucks have come back on the bridge. I kind of have a different feel of it because unfortunately when the trucks are not there, they're in my area and I can't find parking. So the problem is it's like a chess piece, like everything has to go somewhere. And I think that the community board and all of us have to focus on the enforcement part. Like if this department is supposed to be this, we have to get the answers and the solutions for that, and not have, our community, coming back to us to have the same issues. So, I don't know if there's any other questions, or Tolene, I'm not sure if you finished. If you did not, please feel free to finish. If anybody else has any questions after Tolene, and then maybe we can look into what we believe is a good resource. We're not going to vote, so just to keep that in mind.
Oh, that's
No,
right.
I
We don't
just
have-
wanted to quickly
not gonna
say
vote.
that I happened to be at the 47 precinct meeting when they had the truck driver come in and speak. So, I mean, I got that, I understand that angle as well. So thank you. I appreciate you listening, and
Yes, we're definitely going to keep this on the agenda and try to follow up, because we have a lot of people who know the go-tos, but now I think we all need to be in a space of actually having the answers, because we cannot everything is pending at this point, and I know that everybody has done what they're supposed to do to try to get it done. So, John.
I just wanted to make one suggestion.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Can you please repeat your name again?
My Luz Pemberton. I've been up here since 1956, and I was one of the officers in East of Laconia Community Association. And we're well known to the 47th precinct, because every time we turn around, they had another inspector or captain or what have you. And Mr. DeCastro did a lot of things in this community. In fact, we were one of the main people to get that YMC up there, so that, I mean, they need to go and start a block association, and then they could do all these things. We had the police come to our meetings. We've gone to those meetings. I'm sure you remember. You don't remember because you're young. I am 93, and the new people that came into the community don't speak. You got to speak to your neighbors. You got to know them. And if you know them, then you can talk to them, and you don't have to be afraid that they're going to hurt you because you tell them that they're parking in front of your space. So you need a block association. Al DeCastro, I'm sure, can help you in telling you what we've done in this community and so forth. And I'm finished. You can't do it by yourself. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. I think everybody has asked their questions. I'm gonna let John close out or say any last words, because we did not make it.
Right.
All right. To that, make quorum. I think we gotta wait till next month for the next meeting, and then we're gonna represent it, and then we're gonna see if we could get a letter to DOT requesting the alternate side of the street parking and the improvements to the intersection.
Because the volume from what it was 3 years ago has
Yeah.
very, very dangerous now.
Mhm.
Hard speeding like it's a racetrack.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole area. But anyhow, can I get a motion to close?
Motion close.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.